So Diplo says, I would love to see these other teen girls because I believe that's false. What, like Danny Masterson false? Like Michael Milosh false? You love to me, he can't even type. It's like Brandon Quinton too. He can't even type. You love to me mention multiple teens, but we both know that's just a lie or it would be public. Well, since Diplo really would love to see these other teen girls because he believes they're false, even though allegedly he was up in their DMs and Snapchat, etc. I guess ePredators Daily is thrilled to show him these alleged teen girls that he was contacting and communicating with. Let's bring on Gabs, the wonderful Gabs. I can't wait to speak with her. She's wonderful. She has so many informative things to say about this situation, and I'm thrilled to talk with her. Gabs.
Hello.
Welcome to Predators Daily.
Thank you.
But I'm so happy to have you on the show, and
Thank you for having me.
I want you to introduce yourself, give us your name, maybe the city of residence, and also something about you that no one knows, like what your passions are or what you're currently doing when it comes to your passions.
Okay, so I'm Gabs. I live in London and currently we're juggling a lot of things: music, a jewelry company, and just video content. So music videos, the whole shebang.
That's amazing. Wait, you're doing jewelry too? I did not know that.
Yeah, look, it's our jewelry.
Wait, that's amazing. I had no idea you were making jewelry.
Yeah, it's our jewelry. Yeah.
That's amazing. So obviously anyone that has heard anything about Gabs, we love to show support towards survivors or anyone that has been allegedly preyed upon. So check out Gabs, check out her music, check out her Instagram page, show some love and support because it's extremely brave of her to come onto the show and talk about her personal experience that we're about to get into. So Gabs, okay, so let's digest, let's get into it. When did Diplo reach out to you? Give us the whole situation. We'll pull up the messages.
At the time, no, I was 15 because I was born in the 2000s, so I always know my birthday. At the end of the year, I turn the year that it is. So if that makes
That's
any
like
sense.
my daughter. She was born in 2020, so she'll always know what her age is.
She'll always know, exactly.
Always know.
It's handy.
Totally.
Courtesy to my parents. But I was at boarding school at the time. So I was at boarding school in England at the time, and my best friend was obsessed with Diplo. I had no idea who he was. I don't really listen to electronic music at all. No judgment to people who do. That's great. I do love some electronic music, but it just wasn't what I listened to at the time. And then she was like, oh my God, because she sent him a message being like, I love your music. And he replied very innocently, but still weird that he's replying to, you know what I mean? The intent is still weird. Like, it's still a little bit bizarre that he's communicating with clearly younger fans. I found that strange. And then so he went on her, I don't know how it happened. I must have been on her Instagram at the time, and then he followed me. And then that's when he sent me the message of the heart. There you go.
Let everyone see that.
There you go.
There we go. He wanted to see all of these invisible alleged teen girls that he was contacting. Well, here we go. Here you go, Diplo.
Yeah. So you got what you wanted, Diplo.
Yeah, you got what you wanted, Diplo.
So then, obviously, I mean, you can read the chat, but he messaged me at the time. And what's so funny about this, so obviously I was underage in the UK, because I don't know if you're predominantly where your viewers are from, but in the UK, the legal age of consent is 16, whereas in America, it's 18. So
Right.
it's kind of a sticky territory. But if
Mm-hmm.
you're messaging a 15-year-old, I'm assuming, I mean, kind of globally, maybe not. I don't know the global age of consents, but it's creepy. It's really weird and it's
For sure.
illegal. If it's with intent, and it was.
Mm-hmm.
So then I got that message, and then obviously I was a fool, but I was little, and then I added him on
You were
Snapchat, and that's when it.
15 years
I
old. You
know,
were
I know,
legit 15. That's a child. And here's
I
this
know,
like powerful dip coming
I
in
know,
being like,
I know.
how old are you? Heart emoji, which by the way,
Yeah,
gross. Second of all, he goes, ha ha, you look 15. Why are you
yeah,
messaging anyone that looks
yeah.
15?
Bizarre, absolutely
Bizarre.
bizarre. And may I add that I had my age in my bio. And you guys know, when you're
She
younger, you
had
put your
her.
age.
Wait, you had your age in your bio?
Yeah, yeah. So he would have known how old I was.
So that's why he was saying you look 15, because he was trying to say,
Correct.
like, not only are you 15, but you look it.
Correct. 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 Yeah. Yeah.
He really is a
So,
friend of Michael Milosh, in my opinion. They really
yeah,
are
no,
buddying up
exactly.
in Topanga. Now I know what they have in
Exactly.
common. That's bizarre. Now I see what it is. So wait,
Yeah.
so you message him back like, does it look like a little bit later?
A
It looks
little bit later.
okay.
I can't really see the dates on here, but I think a little bit later. And I obviously asked for his Snapchat. Because my friends were egging me on because they were obsessed with him and I wasn't. I didn't care for him.
Right.
And I
I
just
feel
want to make
you
this
on
very
that.
clear.
That's
Sorry,
another
say that
thing.
again.
Wait, can I just say side note? Like every message I've seen of Diplo talking to a girl, a woman, etc., he's like begging
Yeah.
for them to respond. It's like the
Begging.
weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like,
Begging.
relax, bro. Like if you have to beg this
But
hard, like that's not consensual, by the way. Like,
no.
good morning. Like that's
Mhm.
not consensual
Mhm.
if you're begging for attention. It's
Mhm.
ridiculous.
Yeah. And do you know what's actually really interesting?
Tell me.
I've been like looking up. I mean, I'm obsessed with watching these like To Catch a Predator videos, and what I've noticed about them is that they are absolutely enamored by, like, they like being blanked because they go crazy. They go crazy.
Right.
They're like, come here, like, why are you ignoring me? Da, 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 da. And he does the same. And I noticed he did the same with Shelly, may I add.
It's so true because
It's really
honestly,
bad.
they like feel offended and
Mhm.
by the
Yeah.
aspect. Like they're
Yeah.
such narcissists, allegedly,
Mhm.
that they have to like they love the chase of it and
Mhm.
having to earn some type of notoriety. Like, hello,
Yeah.
I'm here. And it's like,
Yeah.
do you understand it's predatorial behavior? And you're talking to a
Yeah.
child, Diplo, allegedly.
Mhm.
By the way, what's up
Mhm.
with the heart emoji at first like glance? Like, you just send a heart emoji to somebody who looks 15 years old? That is extremely alarming.
Even if it, like, I mean, you debate this as a victim. I mean, I struggle with feeling like a victim because obviously getting onto it, I didn't meet him in person, but I mean, I am, because he had intent. But what I was going to say is that, like, it's very difficult, and like it again, coming on here, like me speaking, I don't want anybody to think that I have like nefarious intentions in terms of like coming out and talking about what he said to me. I want everyone to know that I'm doing this, number one, for Shelly, number two, for anybody else that feels that they're harboring information. Because if you're harboring information, I know it's so difficult to come out, but I know for a fact this man, I mean, he's an international criminal. He needs, sorry, am I allowed
No. You go right ahead, girl.
Okay, but he's an international criminal. And he is so deeply disturbed, and his way of worming into these girls' lives, and it's so easy because he has that platform. These men will, as long as they're enabled and as long as people stay silent, they will continue. And I don't doubt for a second that he has a roster So I'm just leaving it at that.
And it's just so true, because the more they have a platform, the more they have support, the more that they have financial support, especially, they're able to cruise for more alleged victims. And it's just the truth. And here you are in London. I mean, okay, so what was he doing there? Did he ever get to London? Like, what's the scenario with him in London? Like, please give me the full, I want to know what happened.
So, okay, so after he messaged me on Instagram, there's kind of like a little bit of a time gap, because I never, like, as a lot of the victims may know, he's persistent, and I never ever fulfilled that persistence, because I was just in my own world. It's got nothing to do with, like, it doesn't matter. He has the power, so whether you did meet him or you didn't, it doesn't matter. Anyways, he was like, oh, I have a show. I think it was a show. He just said he's in London.
Pull up the
August
show.
8th.
Wait. Can we pull up the show? Because I actually think I found it. I mean, allegedly, I think this is the show. Let's pull it up, you guys.
Allegedly.
It was allegedly a block party, which, by the way, that's what I got from DMs, was that his block parties were where a lot of these underage girls went, because I don't think there was an age restriction. Guys. It's like, okay, yeah, you're totally a white dude. That's the only reason why you've gone this far. It's horrible. So wait, so can we pull up that message again? Does he invite an underage girl to hang out with him? Let's pull that up. I want to see that one more time, because he wants to see it himself. So let's show him if he's watching, wherever the hell he is.
So he literally says, let's hang. Who the F wants to hang out with a child? What?
What?
What possibly do you have in common with a child? And
also, just not a child, but someone who looks like a child, right? Because you love to confirm that you looked like a child. And that's what really also grosses me out. I mean, he literally confirmed that you looked like a 15-year-old girl when you were a 15-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And did he put the prayer emoji? Oh my God, no way. Wait, he has the prayer emoji to Snapchat?
Yeah.
He's with like a 15-year-old girl? So wait a minute. So he's down for you to go onto Snapchat. You go onto Snapchat, and what happens on Snapchat?
So I remember distinctly, and there's no wavering in my memory, even though it was about 7 years ago, he sent, I think it was slightly prior to him asking when to hang out in London, but he sent me a photo from his home in his just basically completely bar underwear, so photos, unsolicited, and I was 16.
How old are you, Diplo? Are you going into your retirement home anytime yet? Diplo basically says in 2010, before the Me Too movement, you know, when men predators were just like roaming around being super honest about themselves, allegedly. That was that era, in my opinion, was 2010. I grew up in that era. I know all about that era. And it wasn't good. It wasn't freaking good. But Diplo apparently says dude swag starts at like 50, girls just old after like 17. So what, you mean before the age of consent, Diplo? Is that what you mean? You mean girls are old after the age of consent in your country?
Even in 2010, that is a we say in London, a noncy thing. Like, that's a really creepy thing to say.
It's true.
Like, like minus the pay. I mean, I understand it was a completely different, but also it's like perpetual. So creepy.
No, you're completely right. Something to remind the audience is no matter what year it was, Diplo, it was illegal to reach out to a minor child, by the way. Doesn't matter if it was 2010 or if it was 2020 or if it was 21, 22. No matter what year you're picking, bro, it was the wrong year for that. Maybe you'd have to go to like the 1600s where women were just, by the way, then maybe you'd be able to survive whatever the hell you're doing here, but not in any current era, Diplo. That is not okay. You have too much privilege right there in that tweet. That tweet has come to haunt you like the ghost you are. And look at that tweet.
I can't put it into words, but it's like, you know, brewing anger with like, I mean, every woman, it's a universal experience. We all feel the patriarchy, and like whether it's somebody that's in power, somebody that's, you know, of privilege, or somebody that isn't, we all feel the heat from men. And it's like understanding that and living that every day is such a painfully disturbing and like infuriating experience.
Yeah, like I didn't even know that I wasn't like allowed to like be, I don't know, pawn until I was in my 20s. Like I didn't even understand. Like I thought it was like, oh, you're a woman, you're like you are for men. Like I know that sounds so ridiculous. I'm sure there's a lot of people listening being like, what are you talking about, Alexa? But that's what it felt like being in the early 2000s. No, sorry. Yeah. Early 2000s as a minor I was like, I had to like present myself to men. Like that's really what it felt like. Like it didn't seem, it was so out of the scope that was wrong because of how much the patriarchy dominates our culture.
No, you're so correct. And it's like a deep conditioning from the age of, I mean, I was watching the whole live, but it's like from the ages of 0, you're conditioned to be complacent.
Listen, okay, that's another thing. So Justin Long is like obviously a no-go for us. And I'm just gonna put that there as my like, sorry, I have to. I'm gonna mention Justin Long in this. But the thing is that guys literally save ex-girlfriends, NUDES, in their phone. And you have to understand, like, once that's no longer a reciprocal relationship, right? That has to be deleted because it's no longer consensual. Men don't understand that consent changes through time. They think consent's forever, like it's like a billion-year contract, like Scientology.
Yeah. Like you say yes once and it's just stands still.
Totally. You're like, you have it forever, my body. Like men just want to think that like it's forever. And it's like, no, it's not forever. It's during the time that you and I, or you and that person, were in this dynamic. And then after that, you have to delete that. Like, I don't have any, I literally, even at, like, once I, like, broke up with certain dudes and they sent, you know what's, I was like, delete, like, I don't even like it. It feels kind of embarrassing, deep pics.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Deep pics are weird. They're not as good. Like, deep pics are just, like, awkward. I'm like, okay, cool, bro. I'm good. You're just trying to egg me on to send my own. And I see what that is and like, okay. And then what happens if a leak happens, right? Like if someone leaks into your iCloud and now they have the access to those photos, that's revenge P. So it's just so interesting to see how the times have changed and people think that we're being super progressive, but really we're just actually destroying the patriarchy. It's not progressive, it's destroying the patriarchy that's been reigning for a super long time that has everybody super confused about what's happening in their lives. But wait, can you please show your Snapchat experience with Diplo so we can see his stupid avatar?
So there are 2 generations, right? So he added my old Snapchat, the one that I had since I was like 13. And then I terminated it for, as you can imagine, just boys pestering, being annoying. So I got rid of it. And then I made a new one and he added my new one. But in my old one, when I was 16...
Wait, hold on. He added your new one? How did he add your new one?
He added my new one probably around the time, I'm trying to think, maybe 27, yeah, it would be 2017, so about the same time. And so then that's how we're still friends. I don't use Snapchat anymore. I use WhatsApp. I use,
Yeah,
you know,
WhatsApp, Signal.
iMessage. Yeah. So it's weird. But he had me, and also he had his snap maps on. Like I could see his location at all times,
Pull
which
that
is
up.
really bizarre.
Guys, pull that up. I want to see
Yeah.
Diplo and his avatar. Okay, everyone, look at this. There he is. There's Dip. Dipshit's just walking around by the water. What water is that, bro? Okay.
So you can literally see where everyone is at all times?
That's what Snapchat is. Criminals.
Yeah, but he's silly because he shouldn't keep his location on being a public figure.
Correct.
Like, that's insane.
That is insane.
So there you go. He was at the airport. That's me having his Snapchat. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Diplo, I feel like this is the time to ask you to come on to, I don't want to be near you, actually. I would like somebody else to handle it because I don't want to be near you. But someone else can handle you. And you can come on to ePredators Daily and do a lie detector test, even though those are legit fake.
Do you think Diplo can't be trusted?
Wow. With weddings, probably not. In general, I think he can be trusted. So, yes.
But you can come on and say that you did not or did whatever the hell you want to talk about under a lie detective test, because I'm so curious to personally see what the results are when you discuss scenarios like SHELLY'S and Gabs and Snapchat and Instagram DM. I'm just curious to see what happens there because you seem to be very confused and it seems like you need some help. Yo, you were talking to a 15-year-old girl. I'm pretty sure it's real. I'm pretty positive it's real because I saw it and I saw the screen recording and it like seems super real, bro. And then you're literally hearting her, bro, and like saying that like she looks 15, bro, and like liking that, bro. And that to me is up. Guys, look at the passport.
God, the photo.
No, your photo is rad. Like, I mean, whose passport looks like this, by the way?
Goodbye. My photo is demented.
You look great, girl. You look great. You look great. But look at her age.
There you go, 2000.
Diplo, look at her age. It's so easy math for you since you're from Florida or whatever.
Oh, and we haven't mentioned the fact that
he
invited me to his hotel. That's the pinnacle.
Wait, sorry, I just legit joked on my kombucha. Wait. He invited you to his hotel? What hotel was it?
His hotel. So I'm pretty sure he was staying at, I'm not going to name the hotel, but he was staying at a hotel in my area. And he let me know, and he was like, come.
What hotel do you think it was? Because let's pull up Diplo at that hotel, by the way, currently. Recently, in 2019, I found it. Oh, yeah, I found it, girl.
Okay.
Don't worry, I found it.
Coming right up.
It's coming right up.
Weird that the woman in the photograph is covering her face. Like,
yeah, no one wants to be seen with him. That's like the situation.
Seems like a common trend.
There you go.
Okay, so is that the hotel?
That's the hotel.
Chilton Firehouse, yeah. Mayfair. That's it. And he invited me there. With the intent of what? Just playing video games? No.
Listen, you can also admit to it and repent for it at the same time. I don't mean repent in a religious form. I just mean like, okay, I've learned this now, and now I see it this way, and I didn't understand it that way, and that's okay. Like, just admit, like, allow yourself to be human. Like, allow yourself to be human, because that's the only way we're going to be able to evolve. If we don't admit ourselves as human, we can't do it. We legit can't do it. So just evolve with everyone when it comes to men, boys, and it's okay. You saying you're sorry and taking accountability for what you did is okay in that sense. And it's up to the victim or the survivor to accept your apology. That's out of your control, right? That's out of your control, but at least you're doing that step. You're being human and you're allowing yourself to understand what's at place. I just want men to not feel like they're being persecuted for the things that they have been into. It's wrong. It is. It is wrong. It is wrong. Women aren't suspected of being like that. We know that that's wrong. Like that's like unattractive, almost like too masculine, right? And it's like that's the truth in that scenario. And like you're right. You're totally right. No matter what indoctrination I'm getting, I wouldn't be that person to do that. And you're totally right. Which is why that's a predatorial behavior. But I think predators really get the boost from the patriarchy. The patriarchy is the boost for the for the predators. You know what I mean? It's the boost. And it's like when that boost doesn't actually happen, then there'll be a lot of boys and men, I think, that will be like, ugh.
Can I give a word of advice to the men out there?
The men out there,
and what
or
I'm
the
witnessing
boys.
In the boys, that like, please do not weaponize your whatsoever. Like looking at your body as a weapon. Like I'm seeing from the Brandon Quinn and from Diplo, like the way that they communicate.
Pull it up.
Like you want
pull it up.
Fear to be implemented in your dynamic with your body with another person.
Up. Sorry, Miko. Sorry, I have to disagree with you in one thing. It wasn't just the fact that he was trying to weaponize his, you know what? It was the fact that he was a white guy talking to a black girl. Okay? And what did he say?
You're afraid of big white.
That's disturbing. Okay, so Gabs, where are you at now with everything that you have come across, understood, etc.? Where are you at?
I decided to file a police report in London against him because even if nothing comes from it, it is public record, and it means that apparently both me and Shelley can cross-reference. I don't know how it works. I don't know the jargon, whatever. But yeah, I filed a report against him for. And you know what's very validating, may I add?
Yeah, add it.
What was really lovely was, first of all, I had a female police officer. And second of all, anyways, she was very, very reassuring in terms of, she was like, how many people has he done this to? And I was like, you know what? More than you can imagine. More than you can imagine. And you could tell that she had daughters. So she didn't care that I hadn't met up with him. And that was the validation that I needed, because it doesn't matter that I didn't meet up with him. He had the intent of with me when I was 16 years old. You don't want to call somebody a PEDO in terms of like, but you are, if you're preying on children, you are that specifically. So he is that. And he has like an affinity for ethnic women, which I am. And it's disgusting because that's like a level of protection that obviously the darker skin you are, the less likely you are to receive protection, but we don't get that. So it's so profitable for him in terms of like preying on us, because it's like he won't get caught,
right?
Basically.
In my opinion, man, this is not good. This is just horrible. As a mom and as a survivor, it'd be great if this wasn't true, but it's for you to prove that, right? So now the torch gets sent off to you, and you have a response to make to what Gabs is saying. And I hope you choose wisely, and I hope you don't stay in the narcissistic spiral that you're in, and I hope you take accountability for your alleged actions, and I hope that you just become a real human being, man. That'd be awesome. Be cool to see real human beings in the world, right? And not ones that try to hide behind their privilege. That would be super great. So Gabs, thank you so much for coming on here.
Thank you, Alexa. You are honestly, I mean, I can't describe it. You're just such a lovely. You're amazing. That's all I have to say. You're amazing.
Thank you.
And your husband and your whole team. Thank you
so
for doing
much.
what you're doing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Gabs.